So we will go for next letter. Ramlila Prabhu, you will read it.
Hare Krishna. Letter to Herald of London, 15 November 1969. My dear Herald of, please accept my blessings. I am very glad to receive your letter dated November 11, 1969, and I am so much obliged to you for your kindly offering me your service. You are rightly placed by Krishna's grace under Brahmananda, and you try to follow his instructions. As soon as he will recommend, I shall initiate you. Most probably when I return to Boston. Your picture shows you are a very nice boy, promising to become a good Vaishnava in the future. Krishna has sent you for being taken care of by us, so we shall do our best. You should kindly try to follow our instructions regarding Omkar. You may know that Om is the impersonal sound form of Krishna. Those who are unable to utter immediately the sweet name of Krishna, they are recommended to chant Om. Just like a child is taught to make a particular type of sound, and thus he learns the name of father, mother, and other relatives. That is the beginning. So, in the beginning, Om is the right vibration of transcendental sound, and the meaning is to address the Supreme Lord. Our business is directly with Supreme Lord. Impersonal feature of the Lord is just like the illumination of the lamp. The lamp is the more important thing. You will gradually understand all these features of the absolute truth if you read Bhagavad Gita and adhere to the regulative principles. If there is difficulty in understanding, you consult with Brahmananda, or still further, you send your inquiry to me. Thank you very much for your letter. I hope this will meet you in good health. Your ever well wisher, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. Here, Srila Prabhupada mentioning two important points. One, one should be under the guidance of some senior, and here Prabhupada mentioning him to be under the guidance of Brahmananda Prabhu, and his recommendation will be there. Then Prabhupada will initiate him. One point is that, and another point in this letter, Srila Prabhupada mentioning is word Om. Om, Prabhupada gave a very great analogy here. That as a child, when he is very small, just born, he makes any other utter sounds, but doesn't take name of mother, father, or call them mama, papa, or something like that. Till then, he just makes sounds. Similarly, for taking the name of Krishna, Om is like making sounds. But when we have direct connection and we have grown up, then we can directly utter the name of Lord Krishna directly. So no need of taking the word Om. I guess.
Okay, Amritesh Roy Prabhu is there? No. Uh, okay. Letter to Hamsadut, Los Angeles, 23rd January 1970. My dear Hamsadut, please accept my blessings. I beg to acknowledge receipt of your letter dated 22 January 1970, along with the daily Californian newspaper, in which my letter regarding Krishna chanting has appeared. I am very glad to learn that the editor of the Daily Californian was very impressed with it and kindly printed it in its entirety. You kindly try to understand the purport of my letter and preach it vigorously. In the meantime, I have received one letter from Krishna Das in Germany, and he reports that in Germany there is very good scope for preaching our Krishna consciousness movement. In this connection, he writes as follows. If it is your desire, Prabhupada, with the organization of Germany's Sankirtan party, we would like to make a tour of Germany during the summer. And if it is with your blessings, to open a second temple, at least by the end of 1970, either in Berlin or Munich. Germany West has a population of over 50 million, and that is not included in East Germany. In England, there are over 60 million, but the difference lies in the concentration. In England, there are few large cities, London, Birmingham, Liverpool, etc. Whereas in Germany, the folk are spread in hundreds of towns all over Germany. And these towns are situated only short distances apart. Another hint of Germany's importance is that the German mark currency is one of the established monetary systems in the whole world. As you have said many times previously, the Germans are a very intelligent people. Now the only problem is to reach the people in large numbers, and this will be through SKP and new temples, especially in main cities Berlin, Frankfurt, Cologne, Munich, Stuttgart, etc., all of which have a population of 500,000 to 1 million, except Berlin, which had 3 million. But they are centers of industry, trade, art, travel, and all have universities. So he suggests that your assistance in Germany would be very much favorable. Do you think that for some time you can go to our German center and organize it very nicely in cooperation with the other members? If so, then you decide for yourself, and when you come here, we shall talk further on this matter. Regarding the small press which you have purchased, I do not think you can divert your attention for printing separately our message, because that will require a separate energy and will not help in the matter of selling our BTG. If they receive such pamphlets, they will not be inclined to purchase BTG. Whatever you want to publish, you can send it in an article form to Boston for being printed in BTG. And with your Sankirtan party, you may concentrate the selling of BTG as far as possible. The Xerox machine which you have purchased may be used for some other purposes, because when you have invested some money, it must be utilized. In the BTG, we are sufficiently printing pictures of our Sankirtan movement. Do you think any special advantage will be there by printing separately something which may minimize the sale of BTG? Regarding your question, you are right when you write to say that everything about us, tables, chairs, bricks, is originally emanating from sound vibration. This is also admitted in the Christian Bible, wherein it is said that God said, "Let there be creation," and there was creation. So said means it was sound vibration. But this sound vibration is not material sound vibration, because before creation of material sky and sound, transcendental sound was there. So actually the transcendental sound is the cause of creation, but material sound is not transcendental sound. We have to receive transcendental sound through the transcendental channel. Therefore, Vedas are called Shruti. That means transcendental sound can be received through the ears. And by hearing this transcendental sound through the ear, our heart becomes spiritually purified. And we can realize at that stage the transcendental name, transcendental qualities, transcendental form, transcendental pastimes, etc. That is the way of descending process. Because everything manifested is creation of the original transcendental sound, therefore factually everything is spiritual. But being covered by material cloud, we do not appreciate properly the spiritual nature of everything. The Krishna consciousness movement means gradually advancing towards that stage of spiritual realization. As such, the philosophy of Achintya Bheda Bhed Tattva is perfect. Everything is simultaneously one and different from the Supreme, one in quality, because the original source is the spiritual whole, and different in quantity. This quantitative difference becomes more and more separate by increase of material consciousness. The next question. The body of a pure devotee is all spiritual and he is not different from his body. That is also a fact. The bodies of all living entities, even though they are not pure devotees, are not actually the bodies of the spirit soul. It is always separate from the spiritual body. The Vedic mantra confirm it by the sound vibration that this spiritual soul is always non-attached with that material body. Therefore, we do not see the actual spiritual body of a pure devotee, but what we see, that is matter. Just like the example is given of the shining moon covered by the cloud. When the cloud moves along with the peeping moon sign, it appears that the moon is moving. Anyone who has seen such movement of cloud in the sky must have this experience. So the moving of cloud may appear to the layman's eyes as moving of the moon, but that is not a fact. Similarly, moving of the body of a pure devotee is not the moving of the pure devotee. After all these are facts for the process of realization. But we can try to understand them as far as possible from the statement of authorized scriptures through the version of the spiritual master or saintly person. Regarding dictaphone, I can send you presently the tapes for Krishna, and if Howard Resnick can work on it nicely, it will be a great help. But before purchasing the dictaphone, you can hire it for a month to see how Mr. Resnick will work on it. Besides that, if you purchase a dictaphone, you should do it through authorized dealers of Grundig. So if you are eager on hearing from you, I shall send one tape and let me see how does it work. I am eagerly waiting to see Srimati Himavati and yourself as early as possible. I hope this will meet you in good health. Your ever well-wisher, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. P.S. Your letter addressed to Boston address is certainly missing. So this is a long letter Srila Prabhupada is writing to Hamsadutta Prabhu. Hamsadutta Prabhu is preaching in Germany, and actually I think he is preaching in California, and Prabhupada is inspiring him to go to Germany to go for some time. And here Srila Prabhupada is glad to learn that the editor of the Daily Californian News was very impressed, and he printed the article. So Srila Prabhupada likes that Krishna conscious articles should come in the mainstream news and mainstream media. That is a good service which Prabhupada likes. Like there are many magazines which are very famous all over the world. If Krishna conscious articles come in that, Prabhupada will feel happy. And then Srila Prabhupada is writing about letter from Krishna Das in Germany. And he is describing about Germany's Sankirtan party. Also, he wants that there should be many centers in Germany. He is comparing Germany with England. England has 60 million, means 6 crore population, but it is concentrated in some cities. But in Germany, they are spread all over Germany in small towns, hundreds of towns. So preaching in Germany, Prabhupada is inspiring him. And he wants that Sankirtan party and new temples should be open in Germany, especially in the big cities, Berlin, Frankfurt, Munich. Okay. So he suggests that Krishnadas Prabhu is asking about whether Hamsadut Prabhu can join him. So Prabhupada is just telling that when we meet, we can discuss about it and you think about it. Then Srila Prabhupada is regarding a small press which he purchased. Prabhupada is telling that do not put your focus on that because we already have the BBT, the purchase, and it is going on in Boston. So instead of making another press effort, you should give that document to Boston, and you should focus. Yeah, here he is writing. You should focus the selling on BTG as far as possible. Xerox machine also, and then I think he has asked many questions. So Prabhupada is answering one by one. Like this question, Prabhupada is asking that all material things have come from sound vibration. Let there be creation from Bible. So it is true that everything has come from sound vibration, but that sound is not material because sound was created after that. So that is a spiritual sound, which is different from material sound. And then Srila Prabhupada writes about the body of a pure devotee. We cannot see the spiritual body of the pure devotee. What we see, that is the matter, but that is also not different from the pure devotee, because of intense devotional service done in that body also becomes purified. So yeah, the bodies of all living entities are separate, are actually not the are not actually the bodies of the spirit soul. It is separate from the spiritual body. Okay, next, Ramlila Prabhu.
Letter to Ranadhir, Los Angeles, 24 January 1970. My dear Ranadhir, please accept my blessings. I beg to acknowledge receipt of your letter dated 21st January 1970. I am so glad to learn that your new Vrindavan is now expanding with all good prospects. I also thank you very much for sending me a check on my maintenance account for $50. The most encouraging news is that the school is being very nicely organized. Another encouraging thing is that Kirtanand Maharaj has now taken up actually the work of a sannyasi and is preaching outside our Krishna consciousness cult with great enthusiasm. Now you can remember your last year's crying for $300. I did not very much encourage that attitude because I thought it was the necessity. It was that necessity is the mother of invention. Now you must be realizing how it was good for you that within 1 year you are purchasing two adjoining lands and everything is in advancing position. Now you have got a nice truck and the road is open directly from the main road on account of the side properties being purchased. I thank you for sending me back the small book in Bengali which I was missing. Now you have this truck, and your activities will surely improve the expansion of our Vrindavan scheme. We shall hold our Janmashtami ceremony in great pomp, and if by Krishna's grace it is possible, I shall also go there. The cancelled check has no use for me. It was written by the bank. Please do the preaching work more vigorously, as Krishna has given you all facility. The 16-word Mahamantra is nobody's invention. There are authorized mantras in the different Puranas, which are Vedic authorities, especially in the Kali Santra Upanishad. It is stated that the 16-word Mahamantra is the holy name of the Supreme Brahma for the deliverance of the fallen souls. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu chanted, Haridas Thakur chanted 24 hours. All the Goswamis and Acharyas chanted. My Guru Maharaj chanted. And following all these footsteps, we are also chanting. So they are authorized by disciplic succession. And all of us must chant at least 16 rounds daily to keep us fit on the Krishna consciousness transcendental platform. Amongst all our duties, surely we must not forget to complete our 16 rounds. We should not be carried away simply by the Krishna duties, which is also regarded as good as chanting. But in all circumstances, we shall not forget this duty. I am very glad to learn that the small children are also increasing their dispositions and service attitude. Please get it recognized and increase the activities of the school more and more. All the devotees who desire to know may ask their questions to the elderly members, but still they are open to write me for all their questions, and there should not be any hesitation. I reply each and every letter that I receive, but sometimes it may be little late due to pressure of work. But they should write. There is no checking. But it is simple. But it is better if simple questions are solved amongst yourself in the Ishta Goshti class. Every one of you must regularly read our books at least twice in the morning and evening, and automatically all the questions will be answered. I hope this will meet you in all in very good health. Your ever well wisher, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. Here, Srila Prabhupada mentioning three things. First one is mentioning that Kirtanan Maharaj has started preaching, going and preaching enthusiastically like a sannyasi. Second, Srila Prabhupada here mentioning that he didn't give $300 check to the devotee. Maybe because of that, he tried to pursue, and now he is owning or purchasing the land nearby. He got out some. He came out. I think I am assuming that he must be in some kind of comfort zone. And Prabhupada wanted him to move out of his comfort zone and do something. And similarly, now he's been able to do such a lot thing. And that is Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada appreciating. And third thing, Srila Prabhupada here mentioning and focusing that whatever the situation is, how much we are busy in our Krishna's duties, but still chanting 16 rounds is almost utmost importance. Hare Krishna.
Okay, should we stop here? So, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Jai Gaur Premanande.